Welcome to Lighten Up Talk Radio with Michael and Lee. Join us with topics that wake up the connection to your soul. You can listen to us at lightenuptalkradio.com. Hello, everybody. It is another episode of Lighten Up Talk Radio. We're actually broadcasting a second show on the 18th, but this one will be posted on November 25th. Lee, how are you doing?
I'm doing good.
We just got through a really awesome show with Michael Braswell, and now we're getting into some new topics.
Yes, we are.
See where we're guided today.
That's correct.
I don't know about you, but I'm getting ready for my trip to St. Louis.
I'm getting ready to stay right here in Dandridge.
I'm going to St. Louis over the holidays to visit some my family up there, me and my mother, and dogs. We're going to take the two dogs. So I'm looking for just something different this holiday.
Right. And what does Thanksgiving mean to you, Michael?
Well, Thanksgiving's always, for me, ever since I was a child, been a time for being around family. Mm-hmm. And that brings up something really interesting because as a child, I always felt so much stress around this time, and it always kind of threw me off because on one side, it was like, this is a time of Thanksgiving and all of that, and I remember the blessings before the meal and, some talks about gratitude and things like that. But what really stands out and always has stood out to me is, gosh, why get so stressed out over the holidays? It just doesn't resonate to me at all. I don't understand it because why even have them if you're going to get stressed out? Because to me, it's not about the gifts. It's not about, any of that material stuff. To me, it's really the things that I remember are being around family. I remember cooking together or, eating together and having fun moments. Those are the things that matter to me. The buying stuff it's not something I couldn't have told you what someone gave me last year or the year before. I mean, that stuff just doesn't stick with me.
Right.
The only thing as a child, I could maybe remember one thing that I always wanted so bad and I got it. But as I've grown, in my life, that stuff doesn't resonate with me. But the experiences of joy and those things just really make me feel good, and that to me is what the season is all about. It's about finding those moments of gratitude and not necessarily even finding them, but just being aware of them when they happen and just milking them for all they're worth, being in the moment of it.
I think it's the joy about being in the moment.
Yeah.
It's just something about the holidays from Thanksgiving to Christmas. It's very joyful. And as you said, a lot of people get into the stress mode because they have lack of money at times, or they spend all their money for gifts and this type of thing. In reality, the majority of people just want to have their families together, period. It is not around any of the rest of that. And Thanksgiving to me, and I was talking about this before the show, we really never did anything in my family on Thanksgiving. It just didn't happen. That was the day of the year that my parents worked in the yard.
No, wow. Yeah.
Very interesting. And
total opposite.
It was just totally opposite with that, mm-hmm. And I'm only a child, which I've talked about that before, but there was just a thought about it of, what is today about? And when I was growing up, I was thinking, my interpretation of this is it's a day to be thankful for your life, be thankful for who is in it, be thankful for all the gifts that you have as far as yourself, not in wrapping present gifts, but gifts within yourself. Gifts of having parents that love you, gifts of having all of this other stuff you see. But it was just never really expressed in that day for me. But I always felt that. And after I got married and had children, then I always pretty much presented it as, and we're going to at least have dinner together or whatever, that is going to be what that is. Because if there's 2 times in a year that you're going to get 4 children together, it would be for me Thanksgiving and Christmas. That would be what it is. Now they're all scattered all over the planet. And then I still have 2 here, but even with that, they're working different schedules and this, that, and the other. So what I'm going to be doing this Thanksgiving is I'm going to be going out to a home that I absolutely have never met any of the people.
You're doing something new, too.
I'm doing something brand new this year. My son's girlfriend, she had asked me a couple of weeks ago, she said, well, what do you do for Thanksgiving? And I said, well, really, I said, last year we went to Cracker Barrel to eat, and it was that type of deal. But, and I said, well, this year, I guess we will probably do the same because, I have been very vocal about I don't cook. So
we're opposites there, too.
Yes, we are opposite in that respect because I just really have no desire to do it and never have. And if I haven't got it by this time, I'd say that's probably not going to change. But so anyway, that's what we did. And so she heard this and she said, oh, well, that's a big deal at our family. That's about all that I heard. I said, well, that's nice. She has four other brothers and sisters. And so then my son called 2 days ago and said, well, they want you to come over to their home, for Thanksgiving. And, we're talking about aunts, uncles, cousins. We're talking about people from everywhere, I suppose, coming to that home for Thanksgiving lunch.
Wow.
And it's going to be quite an awakening for that to happen. And I'm going in with just joy that I'll be able to meet new people and share conversations and thoughts and that type of thing, and then just enjoying myself. And it'll be a blessing just to see different people and really how that dinner and that feeling for me. This is really the first time that I can remember that I will be in that type of an environment at a Thanksgiving.
Wow.
It's very interesting.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I just remembered something from that really actually was one of my favorite moments at the table when everybody would sit down to eat was the blessing. And then there was a few times throughout the years that we'd go around the table and have everybody say something that they were grateful for.
Right.
And that was it was almost like you could just feel the love going around the table. Well, not almost. I could feel right. The love going around the table and just everything. It was just a really nice memory.
Well, based on that conversation you just said, what are you grateful for? Let me put it a little bit more specific. On this Thanksgiving, because it can be different, it can vary. Mm-hmm. On this Thanksgiving, what will you be grateful for? And It can be just a short scenario, 2 or 3 things, or what would that be?
I feel a whole line of things.
Okay, well.
Backing up, we'll see what comes out in what order. I would say that I am most grateful for right at this moment, for the realization and the overall feeling that I have everything that I need and I always have. Mm-hmm. And I'm just so grateful for feeling that and knowing that, and for all the people in my life that have helped me on the way, or are helping me now, or just friendships and family relationships that have blossomed this last year, and a lot of healing this last year, and growth. And I'm just really grateful for who I am right now. I'm really grateful for that. I'm really grateful for the work that I've done with myself, for the continuing to move forward even through all the challenges. I'm grateful for a dog that I have, Simon, who's just a wonderful companion to have. I'm really grateful for the animal friends as well. And I'm really grateful to be doing something different, going and seeing some family members that I haven't seen in a long time, and allowing the ones that I see on a very regular basis I'm grateful to kind of go away for a little bit from them and have a break as well. I'm really grateful for that. And gosh, just so many. I'm grateful for all the angels and the divine on the other side that helps me every single day, and every moment is there. Gosh, and I've had some really kind of tough lessons with some people this year that where a negative situations turned out to be some of the biggest life transforming awakenings, and stepping out of my low self-esteem modes, different modes of that, to show me how powerful and wonderful I am, and how important it is to stay in that mode. I'm grateful for all those things. I feel like I could go on and on.
And I think this is a great lesson, and I would entertain that the putting it out on the airways.
Yeah.
That you just take a pen and paper and just go right down your tick list of exactly what makes you grateful. And I believe that if you looked at that list every day for the rest of this year, and I will challenge people to do that, that the actual mode of negativity in this world would totally vanish. It would be gone. Because when you get into the mode of thankfulness, and you get into that part of yourself that you wake up as your purpose in the soul, that you come in with, it changes you. And it would teach you how that you've really in the past have never had to go into the negative mode of what you thought was dramatic at times. That when you would look at this list of how grateful that you've lived the life that you've lived, and how grateful you are to be where you're at. I think that the lesson for us today is to look at where you're at and concentrate on that. If it's not what you feel like that you're at your full destiny, work on it and get started with it. Because it's time. So that's a thankful thing within itself, that you've woken up to where you can get into your soul and find it. And find it. If you're happy with the list that you've put down and you feel like that this is great, then I would entertain the idea to keep adding to it. Every time that you have a grateful moment between Thanksgiving and the end of the year, write down that grateful moment. It's very interesting that when you go back and you look at something that you've written year after year after year, how that list will grow when you have your mind in a positive thought pattern versus in a negative thought pattern of, oh my gosh, I've got to go see my family this year and I don't even want to be around them. You know, oh my God, another Thanksgiving of Uncle Charles and Aunt Susie or whatever that it is. Or the thought pattern of saying, well, you know, I've got to hurry up and get through with this lunch because, you know, at 8 o'clock tonight, I'm going to be standing in line at all these department stores that's opening up for Black Friday. Now, if you really even think about that day of Black Friday, that should really tell you something. Because normally, you know, that's a pretty much of, you know, you got the black, you got the, you know, the white, you got the different colors, you got all of that. But just that type of thing of talking about a sale, a black sale, that doesn't work for me at all.
I wonder where that came from.
I have no clue, and I can't even imagine where it came from, but I can't even imagine anybody in this universe that would even want to put a stigma of that on there for a holiday. I mean, you know, that's just really not bizarre. What worked for me.
If any of y'all know where that came from, that would be interesting.
It would be an interesting scenario. I mean, why can't it be a White Friday, or why can't it be a Merry Friday, or a whatever that it is? You know, something that's
red and
light,
green Friday.
Something that's light and loving. I mean, whatever that it is, you know. But very interesting as far as that, and I think that when you look at all the things that you've been grateful for your life, how could you be in a depressed mode of any sort? I mean, this to me, when you look at Thanksgiving, it's like a pre-show for Christmas. So, I mean, I've listened to people in doing readings and in different types of settings that they say, I go into this total depression from Thanksgiving till the first of the year. Because I don't have, family, I don't have this, I don't have that. Instead of, switch the mind and look at what you do have. You have good health, okay? Do you have you still have a good mind? Can you still drive? I mean, it's not around all the things that a lot of people think that it can be. It's just whatever makes your joy joyful.
Absolutely. And you know what's a good thing
to
do too is if let's say you don't have anybody, what better way than to go out and volunteer and help someone else.
Go to the homeless shelter. Go to the children's home. Go somewhere.
So many wonderful things to do.
And you can be in an organization as far as the work with that, It's just like what I proceeded to say. I can't ever remember having a Thanksgiving Day, but I'm not sitting here thinking about that. I'm thinking about what I'm going to be doing this year. So I'm not in doom and gloom over it. It's just that I've changed the pattern that I was raised by.
Because it's resonated to you
differently. Because it totally has resonated to me differently than working in the yard doing leaves. And I'm not judging that because that obviously was what the purpose of what they wanted to do. But I did not have to stay there in that place. I chose to step out of that and have any type of enjoyment that I could have. If it's going to a complete stranger's house with aunts and uncles coming from all over the United States for this lunch. And I'm looking very forward to that. And just to be able to soak it in and say, wow, this is a new thing for me, and I'm happy to be here.
I like to put it out there as well as some of the things you were saying earlier. If you all are finding it difficult to even think about, oh gosh, I don't want to do what I always do for Thanksgiving. That's which is what I did this year. I was just
change it.
Yeah, just change it. Do something different, because when the second a lot of times people go in depression, it's because they're not paying attention to what's inside of them, saying maybe even, I really would like to do something different this year.
Right.
I'd like to go experience something new. And a lot of times people get really wrapped up in tradition, which is fine if it resonates to you. But if it doesn't, go try something else or have a different Thanksgiving experience. I think that's fun too.
I think it's pretty, you hear a lot of conversations. Well, I've always done it this way, so I guess I'll do it the same old way. Well, switch it. If you're given that type of, the same old way, then it needs to be a switch and try something different,
We're in the time of change right now.
This 2012 is the
time
year
more
of
than
change.
ever to try something new if you're ready.
Exactly. I mean, I didn't know last Thanksgiving that I was going to be in Sevierville, Tennessee, at a home that I don't even know where it's at, that I'll be finding the directions to get there, and don't know a person that's going to be there, except my one son and his girlfriend. But I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah,
I really am.
Cool.
And whatever that is, you see, I'm already putting my attention out that it's going to be a lot of fun for me. And that's the way that it'll be. I'm not putting anything else into it but that.
No negativity.
There's no negativity going on with it. Because I am very happy to see a family operate at a Thanksgiving lunch that will be a new experience for me. I'm looking forward to it. Yep.
Well, I'll look forward to hearing how it was afterwards.
And I'm sure you will.
I'm really drawn to pick a card now.
Do it.
Let's see here. I grabbed the Sylvia Brown card deck. Let's see what kind of message is out there for us today.
Let's do
it. Okay. Oh, wow. This is a sunflower, and it's in the orange and yellow, and it says, try to go one day without complaining and only affirm the positive. Is that not just what you just got?
That's just what I'm just saying. See how that works? Universal always
Look at that.
works.
Is that not gorgeous?
It's absolutely beautiful.
It's just this beautiful sunflower.
Well, since you've gone there, let me.
So that is definitely our message for today: is
Absolutely.
the gratitude and trying to find positive things throughout the holidays.
Exactly.
Mm.
Okay, let's see what mine is here. Identify yourself by your thoughts and feelings, and not by what you own.
Oh my gosh, we were just talking about the material stuff.
That's exactly right. For your
Yeah.
thoughts and feelings, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. There's a lady that is doing a yoga, sitting there and actually into her thoughts and her feelings. And I think that also adds on to my list I've written down, because it's all around your feelings and your thoughts is what's manifested. Mm-hmm. It's not around if you have $1 million or if you've got $2.
Or how many gifts you can
Or
get
how many
people.
gifts you can get. It has nothing to do with any of that. It's all around your thought pattern of being in the moment of being happy. Okay.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
It is that.
Wonderful. So what a great opportunity for all of y'all out there, as is for us as well, as we go into our holidays and such. Really looking in every area for the positive, the good, even new experiences. This or looking, even if you're doing the same things, looking for new joys within the old methods, reaching and searching for the love in your holidays with friends and family, or even if you're alone, which you're really not ever alone, but
Never.
if you're just in a physical body, not by another physical body.
Well, it's amazing because I can be very happy with me. You know, I've made that comment numerous times. I can be very happy with me. I can totally entertain myself to really be in picking up a book or watching a little TV or switching it out and listening to a CD or, anything. I can switch my whole day out and just be in total bliss of switching it out. And when the sun goes down, I can't even remember where I was 8 hours ago because it went by so fast.
I just had an idea.
What?
Putting on some music and dancing after Thanksgiving dinner.
That's a
Instead of
great
sitting on
idea.
a log,
That is a
sitting
great
on the
idea.
couch and pooping out.
That's right. Or drawing names for Christmas or what kind of gifts you exactly. A lot of people do that also at Thanksgiving, that type of thing. And just get into the joy of it, just the total joy of it. I went into this year with a very high thought pattern of 2012. I mean, I have primarily been sitting waiting for 2012 for 5 years. Because That's
too funny.
But I really have. I was talking about 2012 and 07. Mm-hmm. And I can't wait at 2012. This is the year of change. It's going to be the year of change. Everything's going to be wonderful. La, la, la. I went through 5 years of waiting for this year. So I actually went into the anticipation that this was going to be one of the best years of my life. And it has been. I think it's a lot of times that you manifest what you really want. Mm-hmm. And when you put that pattern out there that you're going to have a great year, then that's what that's going to be. It's positive mental attitude will get you there.
PMA.
It is PMA is the only way. That's always my slogan. But
Can you put a tune to that?
Yeah. I'll sing one later on, Michael. But I've heard all these elections, presidential election, all these elections, da 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 da. I didn't even get into that.
No, I stayed.
I just did not even get into that because my belief system is that the person that is in office is in divine order, and otherwise the person wouldn't be there. So to me, it's a divine order deal.
Absolutely.
And so
I did vote, but I voted for who I resonated with. Exactly. But then I let it roll.
Yep, let it go. But I think it's all the energy pattern that you have. If if you in the energy pattern of all that you hear is doom and gloom, and you want to resonate to that, then that's what you'll have. But at any given second, your world is not over and your life is not over, because you have it within your own self to come straight out of that thought pattern and just change it. It's that simple of just switching the mind to a totally different vibrational level within your own body.
Oh yeah, I mean, it just think of, is there anything in your all's life out there that you, like, for example, the second you turn on the news and you feel overburdened with something on the news, or feel like, oh my gosh, I just overwhelmed, or those kind of things. It's amazing how taking those experiences and how they can move into your day. Same as the election. I was around a lot of folks,
Obsessed with it.
Yeah, so obsessed. But then it's fascinating how, I mean, maybe they liked it. I can't imagine that they did, but it's hard to imagine when you see they bring all of that obsessive, and it's almost obsessive compulsiveness into other areas of their life, and then complaining and all of that stuff. Whereas, God, it feels so much freer just to give the divine order where it's due. Like the divine.
Exactly
It's not about me. I don't even want to have the only thing that I can do is pay attention and monitor my own thinking and actions.
Right.
That's it.
That's it.
And I can't change the world. The only thing that I can do is change my thinking and actions to an alignment with what feels most like love, and that's helping from the place that's right within me and that brings me joy. And gosh, what a better place to be.
That's right. I think the wonderful part of what's been invented in my lifetime has actually been a remote that you can mute and you can erase. Because what I did, and this is just the way I operated.
Uh-huh.
I was always a Good Morning America person, and I always like to look at the first 10 minutes to see what's going on in the world, because there's some great things that go on in the world, and I want to know about them too. Okay? But every time that it got to the part of where they was talking about the presidential election, I just totally muted it. And I'd just sit there, and I would just not even pay attention to it. I'd get up and go to the kitchen. I'd do something different and just totally mute it, because I did not want to listen to that type of energy.
It's so harsh. It's like attacking one or the other. I wrote a blog article.
Horrible.
I put it on my website. If any of you ever want to read it, you can go to michaellott.com and click on the blogs. But one morning I just woke up and I had to write about loving all sides.
Right.
Because I just, seeing the pain and the harshness, our bodies really aren't designed for that.
No,
harshness. They're not designed for that. And the more you open up to love, the more sensitive, I believe that everyone becomes, the more that you open up to love and loving all beings, all sides, the good or the bad, which to me has been quite a challenge at times to even, love or accept. I like the acceptance. Accept that there's even people out there doing negative things, and that I just have to accept them where they are. It doesn't mean that I have to do it or buy into it or whatever, but I have learned that the ultimate love is acceptance, and accepting everyone where they are,
right,
no matter where they are. They can be on death row or murder, whatever, but I have to accept them for where they are and be okay with it.
Right. Well, I keep going back to my source is way above anything that is on this level of the world. My source is above. And if a person is on death row, they're still loved.
Absolutely.
If whatever they are, whatever that it is, they're still loved. Because the divine totally brought this person in to have a purpose on this earth and in this world and universe, to be able to do their part of whatever that was. Mm-hmm. And it is not ours to judge.
Nope. They're all learning lessons. They're all co-creating all the dramas that are out there, and people can learn to keep co-creating that way, or through the contrast of life can also learn to co-create positive, loving things.
That's right. God has the plan, and that's the plan. And, and so any of this stuff that's been going on, this was negativity, I just didn't buy into any of it, because I really do that the person at the end of that election world would be the person that needed to be there due to it was divine order for them to be there, period. And I just trust that. And so, I would, the energy for the rest of this year is change. If there's any hardships that you're holding on to, if there's any grievances that you're holding on to, if there's anything that you've been holding on to for a short time or a long time, it is time to totally let it go and let it dissolve itself. Because there's a new world out there.
Absolutely.
There is a totally new world out there. And it is greatness, it is love and compassion. And we are going to learn to be able to live together as one. And not just talk about it, but actually put it in total motion in 2013 to do so. This was the transitional year. And I'm just looking very forward to all the years that I've got left in this lifetime. And when I transition over to the other side, I'll be working up there to help also mankind still down here. I just truly know that. It will be a teacher type situation. And that's okay too.
Wonderful.
It's all wonderful. Whatever that is, it's still wonderful. And we're at a point now to totally make changes. I truly know, and I have really figured it out this year. The reason why I'm in Tennessee in 2012, because it's rated one of the top 5 states in the United States that has some pretty negative views about a lot of things. And I truly believe that there's a lot of light workers that was put into certain areas in the world that needed to be there to lighten it up and to make changes within the energy patterns. And
it also helps.
This is totally a start.
It also is a help. It's helped me wake up.
Exactly.
Being in the contrast energy of what resonates to my soul has really helped me wake up.
That's right.
Even more than I think being somewhere, else. For me personally, I know it was a part of my plan to really be here, because part of me has not resonated with being in Tennessee, but another part of me knows that I'm supposed to be here.
Right.
It's really been interesting, that I even had somebody one time tell me, you're never going to do this or that until you leave. And I thought,
that's a really, really rotten thing to say to where you live.
I know. And this person actually was from Tennessee as well, and they moved out, but they didn't. What I've learned is for me that I'm being here and staying here has brought me to a total place of inner peace.
Right.
And I got the light blinked over here. I'm really grateful for that, because not dealing with something and leaving
it's not complete.
It's not complete. So I'm really grateful. And I'm grateful about all the wonderful things that are getting started here. Like
Absolutely.
Next year, this retreat center and all that. I'm
yes,
extremely grateful.
We will be in a retreat center by the end of April of next year, and it's going to be a wonderful thing. Thousands of people will come, and I understand that I can just visualize it and know that it's going to be nothing but good stuff.
Well, you told us about your dream.
Absolutely. Total dream about it, and it's manifesting itself. But, just same situation with me. I'm originally from Charlotte, North Carolina. And I lived in Atlanta a lot of my years, for about 20 years. And so who would have ever thought that I was going to be sitting here? I never really, it just brought me here. There was a reason why. Now I know what it is, but that's okay, because this was a starting place to do a lot of this and to really get it moving in the direction of a spiritual type place of loving people and getting along with people. And I have the opportunity at any given time to move back to Charlotte, North Carolina. Any given time. I have, children that live there. I've got a mother that lives there. At any time, I could pack this house up and I could go to Charlotte. And I'd have a home to live in. Very nice home to live in. And to be able to just go up there and do my thing up there.
Are you called to do that?
Which is a much larger city. But you know what? No, I am not called to do that. I'm sitting here in the outskirts of Knoxville, Tennessee, in a population of 30,000 people, surrounded by the lake and the golf course, and absolutely very happy of being here. It really doesn't make any difference, I don't think, of where you are. It's the state of mind of where you are. And there has been a lot of light workers that has come here to Tennessee because of what is the old saying that I have listened to now for almost 15 years since I've been here is, oh my gosh, exactly what you heard. Well, you'll have to go somewhere else to be able to do whatever you do. You know what I mean? And I chose to think, no, I don't have to go anywhere else to do anything that I do because what I do is God's work. And anybody, you can do it anywhere. And if anybody ever comes toward me that says that is not what I do, is the God's work, then that's when we will have a conversation about it. And I'll be very direct. I'll be kind and sweet, but it's going to be very direct because I know who I am. I know what my intentions are. And as long as you know that, it doesn't make any difference where you live. Because wherever that is, it's always going to be good. And for you and people around you.
And when it's time to move somewhere else, just listen to your heart.
That's all you gotta do.
I will have to say, I am really, really grateful for all the wonderful new things we have in Knoxville.
Absolutely.
A lot of new holistic things, which over the last 2 years have just been coming in droves. We didn't even have a new holistic pet store, which I didn't even see that when I lived in Ann Arbor.
Right.
We've got lots of organic stores, and it's just wonderful. All new restaurants that are starting to come in that have, hormone-free meats and all kinds of, an organic vegetable. It's just wonderful. There's a lot of great things happening.
Well, Asheville was always the center for all of that. And now it's very interesting when you talk to people in Asheville, they're coming to Knoxville.
Yeah.
A lot of them's coming to Knoxville to practice. They're coming to the growth is totally happening in this area. And so, and I would say that that's contributed to a lot of light workers that have been drawn to come here to this state from other places, a lot from Florida. I mean, I know a lot of people that's come from everywhere, but Florida has been one of the larger places and has come here and they themselves will say, I don't know why I'm here either, but there was a reason for me to be here.
The mountains are so sacred.
It is totally that.
They're wonderful.
It is totally that. And so I think that it makes really no difference where you're at. You can embrace the light any place. Any place. And it's going to be safe for you, and it's going to be a pleasurable thing. It's all in your mind to be able to manifest that yourself.
Absolutely.
Because when you manifest it within your own self, it totally goes to all around you. Totally just goes out into the universe with all around you.
Well, you know what I'm envisioning right now on the air, and I'd like to include everyone that listens to this to do it as well, to see a wave of love starting. Just take a moment with us to pause and see a wave of love epicentered at wherever you live right now, whatever part of the planet you're listening from, and see that wave of love just moving out from you as the conduit, the divine love moving through you and coming and just moving and filling the whole planet and moving, continuing to move just over every piece of land, every ocean, every city, until it just fills the whole globe. And then from there, it even continues to move out into the space and into other planets and the whole universe, bringing us and tying that love all together. seeing any negativity, the old patterns of negativity, the old buildings built out of hatred and fear, just collapsing and disappearing in the wake of that wave of love that is coming out from your heart epicenter. And as each one, you can even imagine, and I'm envisioning that as each one of our waves of love meet each other, the amplitude of those waves of love just escalates and just builds and builds and builds. And with that, we are bringing this divine love just around the whole planet. And yes, this is all energy. The more energy of love that we surround in the planet, the more that we are bringing this love into the hearts of each and other. And then from that love manifest actions of love. And each one of us can follow our hearts, and within this next week bring a deeper form of love than we've ever experienced. Take an action of love in some new way this next week over the holiday season to a family member, a relative, or even somebody that you don't know. Just, it's time. This wave of love connects us all, and you are a part of it and have put it out there, and so it is.
And so it is.
And with that, we'll talk to you all next week.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah. Happy after Thanksgiving by the time they listen to
Happy after Thanksgiving. Be full with all your turkey.
this. Lots of love, you all.
Bye-bye.